21,000. That is how many people Oracle erased in 1 year. Gone. 13% of the entire company. And here's the part that should make you think about your own career, your own job. They never announced it. No press conference, no memo. They put it in a filing, a legal document to their shareholders. Now I want you to hold that number, because the same week Oracle is shrinking. One chip company is about to print the biggest quarter in its history tonight on the exact same technology that did the cutting. One side is handing out billions, the other side is handing out goodbyes. So here's the thesis for today's story, today's show. Two economies are running at once. One is handing out AI budgets, and one is handing out pink slips. Which side you land on comes down to one thing. Comes down to, are you building or are you being measured? Are you building or are you being measured? I want you to type build in the chats right now for me if you're building. Type build in the chat. I want to know who's building in the chat. Let's go ahead and dive deep into the first segment, okay? Let's start with the number that's running on the internet right now. It's so interesting because I got a Twitter message yesterday from a gentleman. It's like, Antoine, what do you think about this 21,000 job cuts? It's like, well, Oracle did talk about how they were going to plan on doing 30,000, and we talked about that early in the year. But let's start with the number that's running, okay? Oracle, one of the biggest software companies on the planet. A year ago, they had 162,000 employees. As of the end of May, they got 141,000. That is 21,000 people gone in 12 months. 21,000 people, guys. That is a lot of people. That is a lot of people. Many of you guys may not say that's a lot of people, but that is a lot of people. And here's why this one is important, and this one is different. They didn't leak it. They wrote it down. In their annual filing, Oracle said, and I'm quoting directly here, the adoption and the deployment of AI technologies across our operations have resulted and may continue to result in reductions to our workforce. Read that again, or hear that again in your head if you're just listening in. A company just told its shareholders under its SEC filings, under oath, that AI is replacing workers and more could be coming. That is not a rumor. That is a sworn disclosure. That is a sworn disclosure. Now let me clean up a number for you guys, because back in January, you might have seen 30,000 floating around. Oracle's going to be cutting 30,000, and you heard me talking about it. I've had a couple segments on this show. 30,000 people. Oracle could be cutting 30,000 people. A lot of folks are scared. A lot of folks in panic. 30,000 people, that's a lot of people. That was a projection. That was a ceiling. The actual filing says 21,000. I'm going to give you the real number, not the scary one. 21,000 confirmed, and it still tells you everything. Here's the tell. Oracle spent $1.84 billion on severance this year. Last year, that number was $374 million. So that's 5 times more. 5 times more severance packages. Ain't that crazy? That's a lot more. That's a lot more. 5x. 5x. And they did it while posting record revenue. $553 billion in cloud contracts on the books, record money coming in, record people going out in the same breath. So who got cut? So now we have a good understanding of who's getting cut, because before it was all speculation. But this is what they actually did. It wasn't random. It was database admins, legacy support, back office finance, legal operations, HR operations, middle management, the roles that mostly track work, not the roles that build the thing. I want you guys to write that down, because that's the whole show today. And I've been talking to you guys about this. So all my data, when I've been talking about builders and coordinators and who's getting cut and who's the one that's actually, ascending within their career, who's the one that's actually getting the opportunities inside and outside of their career, it's been the builders, right? This data confirms it. Before, a lot of the information that we get is data points from articles and inside companies where people just talking. This is actuality. This is what's been printed inside of the SEC filing that they have to post because they're a public company. Now let's talk about the people inside of this, because it's easy to say 21,000 like it's just a number. But Business Insider ran a story this week. They called it the Great Coding Reset. I came across it this morning after doing some analysis, trying to get prepared for the show in a new environment, trying to figure this whole thing out, not feeling well, but I'm here. The article is called The Great Coding Reset, and it's about software engineers, the people who are supposed to be safe, and even they are scared. There's an engineer in there named Danny Hammam. He said every time a new AI tool drops, his first thought ain't excitement. His first thought, he said, is I'm behind. I have to learn this ASAP. He said you start freaking out. And listen to that stat. More than 4 out of 10 developers said AI tools threaten their job security. These are builders, and they're feeling the floor move too. There's even a word going around for it. They call it bot sitting. Guys heard of a new word, bot sitting. Just sitting there watching the AI spit out code. Wait for it. Check it. Wait some more. One developer said it makes you feel like a service drone for a machine. Oh man. And I know many of you guys know what I'm talking about. If you're vibe coding, you're doing some coding, or you're doing some software development. I was messing around with creating loops for my environment. Okay. I have built an entire CRM system. I have built agents that are actually connected and talking to each other. I have built loops to where they're contacting my contacts on my behalf, right? And all of that requires you to code, you to prompt, you to ask it questions, and wait, and wait, and wait. So you guys know what bot sitting is. You're doing bot sitting all the time. One developer said it makes you feel like a service drone for the machine. I had to laugh when I thought about that. I was like, man, I was up until 9:30 last night, which I typically go to bed at 8:30. I was up to 9:30 last night, this bot sitting. Now I got a whole bunch accomplished, and I feel really good about it. But I was bot sitting, guys. I was babysitting. Now I'm not going to tell you this to scare you. I'm not going to tell you any of this to scare you. I'm telling you this so that you understand the pressure that's going on inside of the corporate world, inside of just the entire United States. It's real. Even at the top, there's a lot of pressure. But the answer to that pressure ain't panic. The answer is positioning yourself. And I'm going to show you exactly where the open lanes are in a minute. Okay? I want you guys to type keep up if you're feeling that pressure right now too, with new tools coming out, right? You got to feel like you got to go and touch it. You got to be a part of it. You got to know it. You know what I mean? Like Codex. People have been talking about Codex most recently, and I'm like, what is Codex? And I know it's ChatGPT owned or OpenAI owned. And, I started messing with Codex because I was listening to a podcast on my way up to Wisconsin. And, some top engineers that I listened to was talking about Codex. And they're talking about how, like, Codex is going to be like the new operating system for our PCs. So I'm like, all right, I got to get my hands on Codex. And I got a ChatGPT, like a pro account, right? And I have like for a business account, but I don't have like the full, I used to have like the top of the line account, but I went down ChatGPT because ChatGPT wasn't my thing for a while. I kind of fell off on the ChatGPT or an OpenAI. It's Codex. This Codex something different. This Codex is a combination of, how like you have Perplexity comment where you can actually have it like assist you on your screen. It takes over your screen and starts doing things into your web browser for you. That's what Codex does. And Codex is like you are typing and you're seeing the agent doing stuff with you right there in the screen. It's like the new operating system. And I freaking love it. I absolutely love it. But if you guys are trying to keep up with all these new tools that come out, type keep up in the chat. Because I know that feeling. I know you're not feeling alone there. So here's a question that nobody's answering. How does a company cut 21,000 people and call it AI? I did a show on Monday, and that show was about AI washing and how a lot of these companies are talking and saying that it's AI, but it's not really AI. They've been meaning to do these cuts. But Oracle literally said it in their SEC document. What does that actually look like inside of a company when a company says that they cut 21,000 people for AI? Well, Business Insider answered it this week, and it's the most important story that most people are going to scroll right past. Turns out, the most powerful person in the AI era ain't the engineer. Guess who it is? It's the CFO, the money person. Listen to this. At Match Group, that's the company that's behind Tinder, and that's the company that's behind Hinge. Every single employee now gets an AI budget. Kind of like an allowance, okay? Get a little bit of $300 here, $400 here, $600 here. I give my wife, allowance during the month, right? Like, hey, this is how much you can spend on a typical day, all right? Well, that's what employees get now. and the CFO is responsible for it. The average engineer at these companies burns $600 a month in AI tokens. So stop and hear that. Your company used to budget for your salary. Now it's budgeting for tokens. That is the whole title of today's show. Your company now has an AI budget instead of you. And it gets sharper too. At Elevance Health, they're spending $1 billion or more on AI this year. And the CFO said AI cut their medical chart review work by 40%. Ain't that something? By 40%, guys. AI cut their medical chart review by 40%. They're spending $1 billion or more on AI. And to fund all this, the same execs are saying it plain. They're slowing down hiring to pay for the machines. So 2 companies, same playbook. Different moves though. Match Group and Elevance. One of them froze hiring to pay for AI. One of them cut 40% of a whole task. Guess which one who cut the task, okay? Guess who cut the task? Put it in the chat if you guys know which one cut the task out of their entire process. Put it in the chat. Let me know. Well, the one that cut the task was Elevance. 40% of chart reviews gone. So if you got it right, type got it in the chat. And one more thing, real fast, because it hits your wallet. Congress is moving a bill right now, the Ratepayer Protection Act. It would make big tech companies such as Amazon, such as Google, such as Meta, such as Microsoft, pay for the power their AI data centers are sucking up. Because it's right. That costs land on your electric bill. That cost lands on your electric bill. So the AI build out ain't just taking jobs, it's showing up in your light bill too.